Ed. I wasn't sure I was the right guy, considering last year, Nancy, who graduated the year before me from the Mount, she's the first female African-American neurosurgeon resident at Johns Hopkins. So to be in that company, it's truly incredible and an honor, and I'm just humbled to be here. I first want to thank my beautiful fiance Meg and my future mother and father-in-law for being here and supporting me. It really means a lot to have you here, and in case you're still on the fence of whether I meet Meg's standards, I hope this award helps. But most of all, I want to thank my parents for being here, and more importantly for raising me in faith and into the man I am today. I know I certainly wasn't the easiest kid to raise, but thanks for being loving, but also strict, and holding me to high moral standards. I credit any sort of success I have in my life to their love and commitment. I also want to thank my baseball coach, Scott Thompson, who was just up here. Playing Division I baseball was a dream of mine my entire life, and just being on the team my freshman year was all I could have ever wanted. It was such an incredible experience, and I'm forever grateful that you saw something in me and gave me the opportunity to be a part of the team. When I came to the Mount to visit in high school, well, let me first start by saying the only reason I had ever heard of the Mount was because my mom would watch Father Leo's cooking show on the religious channel, and she said you should go check out that school, so I did. And when I visited, I was blown away by how friendly and welcoming everyone was. Coming from northern New Jersey, just outside of New York, this was not something I had been used to. But once I came to the Mount, I immediately felt at home. And one of the deciding factors that led me here was the Learning Services program led by Denise Marjoram. I met her when I first visited the school, and she made me feel so confident that I could handle the rigor of college, even though I had an IEP as thick as a cinder block. She was truly like a mother for me here for 4 years, and I am forever grateful for that. That kind of care and commitment to students with learning disabilities transformed the way I taught when I became a high school teacher and the expectations I had for my students. I want to thank her and all the Learning Services staff for supporting students every day and giving them the confidence to succeed. So whether it was on the baseball field, chatting with seminarians in the library, office hours with professors, spending hours in Patriot with my teammates like Kyle Kane eating meat mounties, there was just something special about this place, and I gained so much, and I'm forever grateful. When you graduate college, you expect to have gained a bunch of stuff. Knowledge from your major, a variety of skills, problem solving, maybe moral reasoning, maybe responsibility, whatever output that might be, you expect to have it the day you get your diploma. You want those things to be activated and working for you immediately the day you graduate. But these outputs are worthless unless you test them out in the real world and really start living. The more you live, the more you get to use them. So I didn't really understand or activate what I gained from the Mount until I started to try to teach high school kids in West Baltimore, or start my own business, or lead Under Armour's philanthropic initiatives in education. And there are other outputs I won't realize I gained from my time here until I have kids and raise a family. The point is, the value of the Mount is not instantaneous, and it is only reflected when you test yourself in whatever that may be. That's when your ethics, curiosity, faith, community, and teamwork come into play. For me, when I started teaching in Baltimore, I realized the gross injustices in education and the barriers to receiving a quality education like I did, and everything changed for me. And my life and work shifted to do whatever I could and can to leveling the playing field. I began to work so a child's opportunities were not dictated by their zip code. This is when what I gained from the Mount was tested and brought to life. What matters to me most today is to have Corey Hudson here. He's sitting back there with my family at that table. And I taught Corey at Woodlawn High School for 2 years in a class called AVID, which essentially is a college readiness and leadership track for select students who are categorized in the academic middle. I also convinced Corey to play for me on the JV baseball team. That was my first time coaching, and our first game we lost 35-1 through 4 innings. It was a tough year, and I gained a new appreciation for all of you coaches in the room. That same year, I also brought a bus full of avid students to the Mount for a field trip, and Corey was, of course, here to experience it his sophomore year. And let me tell you, this kid made a complete turnaround after that. He went from almost being kicked out of the Avid program with one of the lowest GPAs to straight A's and B's for the rest of his high school career, and became a kid who just led by example in and out of the classroom. I am so proud to say that Corey is now a sophomore at the Mount. He is a sports management major. He works for the athletic department as an intern in game operations. He has to go to work right after this. And he is absolutely thriving, and I could not be more proud of him. I don't take any credit for his incredible hard work that has brought him here. That's all Corey. But this is an example of the strength of the Mount family. And while I'm going to continue to be his cheerleader, one day Corey will be a proud Mount alum who pays it forward. In the same way, many of us in this room are lucky enough to have people in our corner that keep us going. So Corey, I just hope that you've learned as much from me as I have from you. And I want you to know that your success and aspirations are the motor that keeps me running. By a show of hands, how many current Mountain students do we have in the room? All right, so a good bit. So I don't teach anymore, so I don't have an audience. But I just want to very quickly, tell you what I have gained from the Mount in the past 5.5 years since I graduated. So take a lot of risks, but don't be afraid to ask for help. Take on positions and figure out if they are right for you later. Intern for a startup, volunteer with a campaign, work on a farm, do challenging things just for the sake of doing them. If you're worried about what you're going to, if you're worried about what you're going to do with your life, know that you're not limited to what your parents or who your parents know or what company your uncle works for. You'd be amazed by the power of a sincere cold call or email. Don't be embarrassed to put yourself out there, but be embarrassed to make excuses or think you deserve better. Identify gaps, problems, injustices you're passionate about, and try to solve them. Forget about all the conventional rules you thought there were in the real world. For every yes you receive, it should come with at least 9 no's. Anything less than 10%, and you're selling yourself short. When I went on the Mount's website last night, the first thing that came up on the homepage was a question. How do you want to live significantly? And I absolutely love that, and whoever redid the Mount's website and marketing team, it looks fabulous. Do yourself a favor and add the answer to that question in the signature line of your email. You can change it every year, month, or day if you want. For the past 2 years in the signature line of my email, I work to bring joy, opportunity, and value to Baltimore City, its teachers, and students. So every time I send an email, that's at the bottom, right underneath my name and my phone number. So continue to explore these big questions, and don't be afraid to change your answers or your focus at a moment's notice. And that's about it. Thank you so much for this award. It means the world to me and my family and my teammates and everybody here. I want to congratulate all of the recipients of the Hall of Fame. I envy your athletic ability. I wasn't quite as good as sports. I was just happy to be on the team. And as captains and leaders, what you did, leading by example, but also pushing your teammates, meant the world to players like me who are kind of in the background and just in a supporting role. So it's incredible to be on the stage with you all. And then thank you to the committee for electing me to receive this award. It means so much, so thank you.